What's going on? And welcome back to another episode of the You Want It, You Got It podcast. Today, I'm speaking with the Emo Cowboy himself, Brad Redlich. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
No problem. I mean, it's the Emo Cowboy. You got to have the Emo Cowboy on, you know?
Hell yeah, dude. That's what I've been hearing. I'm
Yeah. I
surprised
mean,
about it, but it's been taking off a little bit.
but let me say this though, Emo Cowboy. But isn't that every cowboy?
That's what I'm saying, dude. I didn't think this was a new thing. I thought all the songs were sad.
Right? Because when you're a kid, and obviously when you're a kid, you grow up hearing about country music and stuff. And what I always heard was, it's about my wife leaving me and my dog getting hit by a car. That's just that stereotypical, what they say country's about. But to me, that's emo. You know,
Straight up. Straight up. And then yeah, the blues too. I grew up playing the blues, and I feel like there's a lot of similarities between punk, emo, and country, and that's kind of what I do. So it's been
you
cool.
know, you say, we throw around the word emo a lot, and then we try to put it into one quote unquote genre. But if you think about it, every genre, every artist sings songs that are quote unquote emo, but they're not going to say, "Oh man, this is about my relationship with my girl. We broke up," or vice versa. They're going to be like, "Yo, this is about this time. I just had this wicked dream, man. It was just like I didn't know what to do, man. So this is the song I wrote." But then when you read the lyrics, you're like, "Man, it's emo as fuck. Shut up." But uh, I ain't gonna lie, that's all I write. Okay, that's all I write because
Hell
that's what
yeah.
I know. I'm a fucking we might have tough exteriors, but damn it, we all softies inside and at the end of the day.
Oh, 100%, 100%.
I just I mean, every song that I write is about an ex relationship. It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
about to be I'm gonna be 50 and I write about the same shit from the fucking when I was 20. So
yeah, man, I don't think you get into songwriting and I guess poetry if you're not a
yeah,
softie a little bit, you know?
right, for sure, for sure. So you were saying, you grew up, listening to blues and country, obviously, and you said punk rock and whatnot. The emo cowboy name, what made you run with that?
Dude, honestly, like, I moved to Nashville in, November, and, I'd been back and
Okay.
forth quite a bit, and, so I'm pretty new to town still. I haven't even been here a year. But
Okay.
I had a hat, it said Emo Cowboy on it, and I came here with just a suitcase, and I had a emo cowboy hat and a red jacket, and everyone either knew me as the guy with as the emo cowboy, they would literally call me that because I would be meeting all these people networking, and they'd be like, "I
Uh,
seen you, you're the guy with the emo cowboy hat, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "That's the first time I ever heard of that." I'm like, "All right, that's cool." Or they'd call me the guy with the red jacket. They're like, "You got the red Kings of Leon jacket, don't you?" I'm like, "Yeah." So I only had like one hat, one jacket, and I didn't realize it'd be so cold. So I was like always bundling up. And yeah, that's it kind of stuck. So I was just like, I'm gonna run with it now.
well, that red jacket, is that the one that I've seen you wore in pictures? It's like looks like an
Yeah.
old varsity style jacket.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with the two Mustang horses on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep, that's
So
the
I
one.
I noticed I noticed on your website you sell emo cowboy merch.
Mhm.
So you're just running with it. Fucking might as well, right? It's a cool thing.
Dude, yeah. People have been, and like I said, this is the people here that have been saying, "Hey, you should sell some merch," and and my music obviously like has a lot of emo in it and punk,
Mhm.
but and country. So, but it's cool. It all like matched, and I didn't think that it's unexpected that it would kind of stick like that. So I'm just giving the people what they want.
There you go. There you go. So you said you moved to Nashville last November. What brought you? Where were you from originally?
I'm originally from Chicago, so
Okay,
yeah.
makes sense. The shy rock, the shy
hmm
country. Okay, okay, okay. Cool, cool.
Yeah, and Chicago is so diverse that like nobody does just one thing. Everybody's a hybrid of a bunch of different genres, and then so there's like the most unique bands come out of Chicago, like Smashing Pumpkins, and a bunch of crazy stuff. So yeah, it's been cool that Nashville has been open to that. I know it's like a more traditional country town, but it seems like they've been wanting to like go to different genres and mix it up. So I think it's good for the genre overall because people go back and check out the old country that weren't country fans to begin with.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like every genre, over the years it changes the style a little bit. The country from the 50s to the 60s was different. 60s, 70s, 70s, 80s. Every decade it changes up, and like the 90s is the country that I'm familiar with, like, Alan Jackson
Yeah.
and all that kind of stuff. Obviously Garth in the late 80s, I'd say Garth, I know everybody knew Garth in the late 80s. He's probably still one of the biggest country artists out there, unless you want to say Taylor Swift. Is she still country? I don't know if she's country anymore, but she's doing something. I'll give her her fucking cookies because she's doing her thing.
Oh yeah.
Um, but so yeah, like you're saying, Smashing Pumpkins and what I mean, hell, Chicago has you got Fallout Boy and
Oh yeah.
who else is from up that way?
Well, like
Can't
a
even
lot
think
of
of.
hip hop people too. Like it's
Oh,
just like it's insane. Any genre, there's something from Chicago at some point.
so are you a White Sox fan or are you a Cubbies?
I'm a North Sider. I'm a
Okay,
Cubbies. Yeah.
okay. Hey, the streak was finally broke, and that's great.
I know.
Um, obviously, in Back to the Future, it shows that the Cubs won the World Series, and everyone's like, "Nah, ain't gonna happen," and they won the World Series finally. So give it up to Back to the Future for knowing the future.
Yeah. Seriously. I will say the Sox, they got the cooler logo and colors.
The fucking pinstripe type, it's like,
Badass.
and oh man, that logo, the Sox logo is just cool,
It
you
is.
know. Depending on, I mean, the C's cool, but most of the time you see the C with the little cubby in there. So,
Yeah. Yeah, for
um,
sure.
yeah. So another thing about Chicago, the Bean, right? Is this I've never been to Chicago, nor have I ever seen the Bean, but apparently the Bean is a new thing. Yeah, like the '90s or something. It came out.
That's a good question. It's been there ever since I can remember. But
Okay, and
yeah, it's kind of a touristy type of thing,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it's definitely cool to see. I mean, people from
I
all
mean, you got.
over are there, but
I
that's where
wonder how many
Lala
times
is
that Bean.
though. Millennium
What
Park,
is?
Lollapalooza.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
right
Which
there, so yeah.
which is wild how that it's focused on Chicago. I don't know if that's where like Perry Farrell is from originally, but it's like Chicago is where Lollapalooza is now. When I was younger, obviously it was a traveling circus still, and it went everywhere. But I
Mhm.
guess it's a prime location. It's just like right there in the middle. Everybody can just come up. Um, have you ever
Yeah.
been to Lollapalooza?
I saw I was there in 2014, I think it was, and I saw Kings of Leon, Cage the Elephant, Young the Giant.
Oh
I
yeah.
It was like a pretty badass like alternative rock like night, and yeah, like I love seeing those bands growing up. Just the energy that those bands bring is crazy.
Well, it's
So,
wild because Kings of Leon's from Nashville,
yeah,
Cage the Elephant's from Bowling Green, Kentucky.
yeah,
You know, um, I I will say this, you know, I sleep on a lot of bands, or I was that dude who didn't give a band a chance, and I'm hella guilty for that. And now, when I got older, like probably 20 years ago, 15 years ago, I went back and listened to a lot of these fucking talented fucking bands, Kings of Leon, Cage the Elephant, those kind of bands, and they're fucking so rad.
dude,
And of course, I've always been fans of like Coldplay. I've always been fans of Oasis. So why did I listen to Cage the Elephant or why did I listen to Kings of Leon? It's rock. It's all rock,
right?
But yeah, Cage the Elephant man is great, but Kings of Leon, fuck. Those
Dude,
dudes throw it down live and they're all brothers,
yeah,
you
dude.
know.
And they're doing this shit with Zach Bryan now. Have you seen that?
No.
They just released one song and then they got another song coming out, I think this weekend with Zach Bryan, like co-wrote, co like with Kings Leon band. So
I oh, here it is right here. Zach Bryan, Kings of Leon. Now is it like is he doing an album with like certain artists or is it just a one-off
dude, this
single?
is two songs with Kings of Leon, so and Zach
Oh,
Bryan. So I think they might have an album just them because Zach's a huge Kings of Leon fan and they've been doing shows together, like touring. So I
oh
don't
wow.
know. I'm pretty excited because yeah, Kings of Leon needs to like they've been around forever, dude, and they've had their moments of like highs and lows, and it's like they need to be like out there because they're just such a badass band. Like,
So I typed in Kings or typed in Zach Bryan on here, and it's I'm looking at I went to click on his bio real quick, and it says his top listeners are in Chicago.
no shit.
It says Chicago, Sydney, Dallas, Toronto, and then Denver. But Chicago's his number one. He has more listeners in Chicago than anywhere else.
That makes sense. I
Wow.
mean, damn, that's crazy.
Now, with you saying Kings of Leon, I heard you mentioned them a few times. Would you say they're a big influence on you?
Oh yeah, dude. Like especially those early records, like
Hmm.
this it's like a southern rock, but it's like indie and then it's like punk too, like it's fast. Like I don't know. I just that stuff just fired me up. It was like listening to that growing up. And then obviously they had the big records and the big hits
Oh
too,
yeah,
which is
yeah.
dope just to see a band like go from like garage rock to like just playing stadiums, like I always like seeing that trajectory.
Uh,
So and
it's like it was like overnight.
seriously, it was like they made 3 records and then on that 4th record it had Sex on Fire and Use Somebody and then it was like they were everywhere. But they were like doing the rock and roll thing forever. Like they had 3 records out before that. So it's kind of cool when you see someone
It,
get their moment.
yeah, get their flowers, as they would say.
Yeah. Yeah.
What I think is cool is like them being all like was it like 3 or 4 brothers and a cousin or something,
Yeah.
but I mean I've heard they've had their issues, but to still be jamming with each other for that whole time, and man, it's like you live with these dudes your whole life as brothers, and then you're in a band with this dude. It's like you're on tour. It's like, man, but that's cool, and you still got to spend the holidays with them. It's
Oh
like
my
you guys are always
god.
together. But that's kind of like there's another band like that. I was like the Hanson brothers. Look at those dudes. They're still touring together, still
Mhm.
playing, and they've been doing that since they were like before they were teens. But congrats to those guys.
Dude, Oasis and
Yeah. Oh,
Black Crows, of course. Like
oh,
they all broke
like
up
think about
and
that though. Think about Black Crows and Oasis. Both of those brothers wanted to tear each other's fucking head off.
yeah.
And it's wild. It's like Black Flag, Black Crows are such a great band, but I still think they're an underrated band, because
Yeah.
all people know are those first 3 albums with those hits on it. But man, they put some great music out after that. I That's a bucket list band that I still need to see is the Black Crows, and they played here a couple years ago on my birthday, and I wasn't able to go, and I'm disappointed, but I will see them.
Dude, I love Black Crows, man, so much. Like their early stuff just same
Hmm.
with Kings of Leon, it just reminds me of like Stones, like just like when they're doing Exile on Main Street, like just like crazy like rock and roll punk like country vibes. Like it's just like insane. Like those
I mean,
bands.
you think about it, man. The Stones were kind of fucking punk, back in the day.
Oh hell
And
yeah.
it's wild to see some of these bands that we don't consider a punk band, but when you pay attention to them, they're pretty like the Who. The
Yeah.
Who is pretty punk rock. You know what I'm saying? They
Yeah.
were throwing their drum sets on the floor and setting them on fire and shit. But the Stones is one of those bands that have been around. I believe I could be mistaken since like '59 or something, like '58 or '59, and they're still
Dude.
fucking going at it, man. It's so wild. Um, but yeah. So now some of those bands, like, obviously you probably seen Kings of Leon, right? Like you said
Yeah.
in Chicago, and then have you seen them in Nashville at all yet?
Yeah, I saw them the last time they came to Bridgestone and
Uh-huh.
it was sick like with the new record. Um, but yeah, I haven't seen the Black Crows yet. I've seen the Stones at Soldier Field in
Oh, fuck
Chicago. That was badass. They played like a bunch of my favorite deep cuts like Dead Flowers and Sweet Virginia and like some of these good songs.
yeah. How many
Um,
hours do they play?
Dude, I think it was like 2, maybe 3. I can't even remember who the
I don't.
opener was, honestly.
I don't want to. I don't like. I mean, everybody has their tap out time. I can't do it
Yeah.
no more. But the fucking Stones, man, are still going in their fucking late '70s, '80s, and Mick Jagger fucking runs that stage like he's 15 years old. Like
dude.
it's insane. I bitch and complain sometimes. Like my knees be hurting. I can't play. I'm tired tonight after this show. Like, I want to sit out. And this motherfucker just two because now they play like what, one night, take two off, take a
Yeah.
night, take two off. But he still does it, man. Fuck, I give him credit.
Yeah,
But
that tour was cool. They did a back to back, and then that was the last tour with Charlie Watts. So I got to see like the full band. Yeah, and it was like, damn, that was dope. And then I almost got to see Tom Petty with Chris Stapleton, his last tour, but I like
wait,
didn't get to go to that. That would have been
was
fucking
Chris
sick,
Stapleton opening up?
dude. Yeah, at Wrigley Field.
So I saw Tom Petty back in '95 in Nashville,
uh,
and it was during the Last Dance with Mary Jane era. That whole he was all doing that stuff,
yeah,
and
yeah.
then I got to see Chris Stapleton in 2014, 2015 at LP Field or Nissan Stadium, whatever you want to call it, opening up for Guns N' Roses.
No shit.
Dude, him and
What
his
the hell?
wife, him and his wife fucking kill it, dude. He can sing his ass off. Um, it's funny because Chris Stapleton started out as like a songwriter, like most people.
Mm,
He performed here in Clarksville at this local bar up here on a writers' night, but
okay.
nobody knew who he was at that time. But he didn't have a beard either. He was clean shaven, But he would come up and work out material, and then whoever got it got it. But then just like most writers, they're like, "Fuck, I can make money, and I'm giving my songs to all these other people. Fuck it, let me do my thing." So. Yeah, he puts it down, man. I'll give him credit, man. He rocked the house. So
Yeah,
I
he's
like
he's
that.
definitely a hero of mine for sure. Just badass. I just like badass guys.
Yeah.
That's if you're a badass, I'm probably a fan of you. It don't matter what genre, don't matter anything. But
Like,
he's
hey, like good music's good music, right?
yep.
You
Yeah,
know.
seriously.
Are you a fan of Yellow Wolf?
Yellow Wolf's cool, man. I don't
Yeah,
have his like catalog like super dialed in, but like I've
he
definitely
got
listened
he
to
got
him.
he got some bangers, man. He's one of my
Yeah.
faves. I've seen him a few different times. I got my Slamerican flag up here on the wall here, the Yellow Wolf flag. But he just put out like a country style album recently, and it's really fucking good. But he's kind of doing the whatever he does, but it's kind of southern. But I fuck with the guy.
But he's been in
Uh,
Nashville forever, right? He's always been kind of that type of thing.
yeah, he when he he was a skater and moved around and
Yeah.
like lived on couches when he was in his late teens or whatnot, and then he did the hip hop thing when and then I mean, he's been in Nashville for a minute, but then I think what he did, kind of like, Jelly Roll did, kind of like Struggle did, they just fucking wanted to do music that they wanted to do.
Oh, hell
No
yeah.
no boundaries. And I love everything that Struggle does. I love everything that Yellow Wolf does. I love everything that Jelly does,
Mhm.
because Jelly, look what he was a big, huge hip hop dude. And him and him and Struggle put out some great fucking collab albums. I think they did um, Willie and Wayland, they
Yeah,
did the Willie Wayland, like I think part 4 they're up to now. And those albums are phenomenal. And but at the end of the day, it's about making what you want to make. And if they want to do it, and look what Jelly Roll's doing for the scene right now, man. He's blowing it the fuck up. And you know,
dude. He's on every radio station. Doesn't matter what genre.
he's he seems like such a humble guy. Like, I was watching him on wrestling a couple weeks ago, and he was like, "Look, I'm a celebrity. Yeah, I get it, but don't put me over. Let me lose. Like, I want to lose. Like, I don't want to be that celebrity that comes in." And he wrestled for 30 minutes or 25 minutes, but he wrestled for a long fucking time. And he's a bigger gentleman, and
Mhm.
and but he put the work in and he did his thing, and he got respect for that. So
Oh,
big
yeah.
ups to him, man.
Yeah, I met Jelly Roll one of my first weeks here in Nashville, and he was just like the nicest dude, like in real
Yeah.
life. And I opened for Struggle back in
Oh,
Chicago
hell
for a show, and he's got like a badass band, dude. Like
yeah.
it
Mhm.
is insane. Obviously, he puts on a great performance himself, but it's like, dude, he's got heavy hitters, and it's like, damn. So I enjoyed the fuck out of that. That was
I
crazy.
I saw struggle up here in Clarksville. There was a studio out in Dixon area, and a flood had happened, and this studio got like demolished or got flooded or whatever, and they were doing a benefit show, and the rumors were Yellow Wolf was coming and Struggle was coming, and I was gonna go regardless because Struggle was there. But then if Yellow Wolf was gonna be there, I was gonna be like a little fucking kid. I could have been like a 5-year-old, you know. But because the venue was tiny as hell, you know, it capped maybe 300 people, you know.
Hmm.
So, um, we went and struggled. This man, he put it down, man. Like he didn't have the band, he had his DJ with him, but his
Yeah.
DJ was just as cool, you know. But
Yeah.
like I said, well, you said, you know, he's a performer. He can control a crowd. He knows
Hmm.
how to. You might not know his music. You might not like his music. At the end of the day, you're gonna like his music and you're gonna know his music because he brings you into him. You know,
Oh
I really
yeah. Well, like my parents and stuff, like they don't listen to a lot of hip hop, but like they were at
okay.
the show and like they were like just like you said, he turns people into fans. Like once you see him performing and he talks to the crowd and and I hung out with him a little after the show and he was like just so cool, man. Like he was just like so welcoming to like everybody. And that's how kind of how Jelly is too. It's like they're both have that similar trait and it's so cool to see.
What what I also like about that whole little clique, you know, Jelly Roll, Yellow Wolf, and Stroke, you know, they're all boys. They
Yeah.
don't they're not trying to ride off each other's coattail. You know, they're
Mhm.
not like they appreciate each other. You know, they respect where each other, but they're not like, "Hey man, yo, let me get that opening slot or something." You know, they still do their own music. You know, like I've never seen Struggle Yellow Wolf open up for Jelly Roll on his on as big as he is now. You know,
Yeah.
they've never rode the coattails. They're still doing their thing, and you know, um, it's just cool. You know, and and they're boys still, and they still support each other. Cause you'll always see the three of them. You know, congrats to Jelly, Kentucky. You know, they congrats to Struggle for putting out a new album, and you know, I like that. They're still humble with each. You know, they're not too big for each other. They came up from the streets and they're still together. You know, so that's cool.
Yeah, that is cool because you just never know like how long you're gonna last at the top.
Mm,
Everybody like a lot of people get there, but how long you're up there, it's like you know.
yeah, because you might be the flavor of the week, you
Yep.
know, and then you know, but guess what though? Get that one single and get it popping, and it'll get everybody on it and make it a play, you know, and everything else could suck, but you'll still get royalties off that one song, you know.
For
Not that you
sure.
want one song, not that you want some hits. Um, so what got you turned on to doing music, man? What made you want to play the guitar and sing and whatnot?
Dude, honestly, I didn't really play until I was in college. Like I played drums in like middle school and that was about
Okay.
it. And then I was just like a huge music fan. Like I'd listen to every genre. I would always be putting my friends on to like, "Oh, you got to check this out, dude. This guy's coming up. He's going to be big." Like I was kind of more of like a fan. And then in college I had a roommate that like we didn't get along super well. And he was like, "If you like music so much, why don't you go play it?" And I'm like, "You know what? That's actually a good idea." He was kind of like being an asshole and I was like, you know what? That's actually a great idea. So then I like got a guitar. Like for Christmas, I asked for a guitar from my parents. I didn't have any money to go buy one, and yeah, I just got locked in and started playing with my buddies that were like dabbling in music, like in garages and basements and stuff. And then we like put bands together and would play these house shows and it just kind of took off to the point where I'm like, I think I can actually do this. So I started writing my own songs and putting my own band together and doing all the marketing stuff and social media. And yeah,
It's a pain in the ass, isn't it, by yourself?
it is, but
Work.
if no one else is going to do it, somebody's got to do it.
Well, see, that's like me with my band. You know, back in the, I always tell my friends, you know, whatever I do, whether it succeeds or not, you're gonna get tired of me because I'm a whore with
Yeah,
promoting my band. You're gonna see me around, you know, like I'm gonna push it, and that's what I would do with every one of my bands. You know, regardless if you make it or not, still bust your ass and get your name out there because you never know what's gonna happen. You know, it's like I've been doing this podcast now for a year and a half. You know, am I doing it to make money? No. I'm doing it just to have fun and talk with people, and if something happens, cool. But at the end of the day, it's like a hobby. I like talking to people, hearing stories, and then letting other people out there hear the stories. It's kind of like I didn't give up music. Ooh, that's a horrible word. I stepped I stepped away from music a few years ago, probably about 2.5 years ago. I got myself clean. I got away from drinking, and I got away from the music, but I still wanted to stay in it. So I did the podcast, and I'm still staying in with music, still talking to people, and this is what I'm doing now. This is my music for the time being. So, but it's cool though when you start doing it, because once you get that first show under your belt, the rest is like it's like it's like a drug, man. You're addicted.
Oh yeah, dude. And you want every show to be as good as the last or better, and it's like that's what keeps you coming back. It's the stage, you know. It's not the social media followers and all that. It's the stage. Like if you're a true musician, artist, like, you know.
And I'm sure you've been told too, maybe, over the years, you don't it doesn't matter if there's one person in the crowd, five people in the crowd, you play to those people like it's a packed house, because you don't want to show you don't want to see you don't want them to see you frustrated because nobody's there. And because if they're going to look at you and be like, "Psh, screw that guy. He's not appreciative of who's here." So you got to play your heart out regardless, man. And I was like, and 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 I was always told that, man, and that's what I've always done. I don't care how many people, because one person might tell five people,
Oh
and they
yeah.
might bring five more people. That's just what you got to do. What was it? Do you remember your first show?
Yeah, actually, my buddies were throwing a party at their like farm, and they had a truck bed.
Oh,
So it was on the back of a truck bed. Yeah, they
not
called
the
it.
truck bed show.
Yeah, dude. So we got that off the bucket list like right away. It's called Tardy Fest. My buddy's last name is Tardy, and they would
Okay.
have music acts, and yeah.
Hey, I will say this: out of the 20 years of playing, I have never played a flatbread or a trailer yet. You know, I've played the goddamn parking lot before. I played on a parking lot, and that's very uncomfortable, especially in the summertime with the heat beating down on you.
Yeah.
But never the flatbread yet. Oh wait, no, no, I played a makeshift stage that I thought was gonna fall apart, and it did not. So but it was in the middle of a cornfield too. So
Oh, that's pretty country.
yeah, oh yeah, it's just well, we in Clarksville they have in the Clarksville area they have what's called possum stock every year.
Mhm.
And this guy from he I guess he lives in Nashville now, but his name is excuse me. Have you heard of the THC yet? Cody Parson and the THC, the heavy change.
I'm not sure.
They're
Um,
from around. If you see that name, check them out. They're man, I don't even know what to describe 'em. I guess they're kinda similar to you, just a mix of everything. They're pretty fucking rocking. They came out of Clarksville, but now they moved to Nashville. But, the singer, he puts on what's called Possum Stock every year. It's a 2 or 3-day festival sometimes, up here, and it's all day long on Saturday, all day long on Sunday. Friday, it starts in the evening, and then it's just like it's kinda like a mini Bonnaroo. At nighttime until the morning, you got DJs playing and shit. It's really cool, man. I'll have to send you the link, and maybe you can try to get on one year. I think you'd like it, man.
that sounds badass.
Yeah, dude. It's we got to play it one year. We played pretty early. Fucking thank God that we were in the shade though, because it was in July, and but it was like the area that they had at this one year. It was the stage was surrounded by a bunch of trees, so it was cool. As long
Yeah.
as we had some beers, as long as we had the beers coming, we were fine.
Yeah.
Um, so you got that first show under your belt, and after that, it's just like, man, it's like I said, it's a drug, and it's like it's kind of when's the next one coming? When's the next one coming? And then you just keep going, and then after that, you got 100 shows under your belt. How many shows do you think you've played?
Dude, hundreds. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like yeah, especially in Chicago, like I was playing pretty much every night, like living there. Like you can do the same thing as Nashville here. Like you can play every night.
Fuck yeah.
Not you can't play in the mornings. Here you can play at
Yeah.
10 a.m. on a Tuesday if you want, but you can. There's gigs every night. All over the city. So I definitely got my 100 or what is it, 10,000 hours in on
What
stage. So
and no matter what time you play in Nashville, whether it's 7 o'clock in the morning or fucking 12 o'clock in the afternoon, there's gonna be people there because
Oh, I know.
people are always out honky tonking.
Yeah.
Um, and my brother come from California originally, and my brother had come out because he was working for a car company, a filter company, and he's like, "Let's go check out downtown Nashville." And I was like, "Man, all right, but you got to go honky tonking. We ain't just gonna go to the trendy bars. We're gonna go honky tonking." So we started at 9:30, and by 11:30, we were fucking done because
Yeah.
we hit every honky tonk on Broadway, which it's not like it used to be, but those bars are still there.
Yeah.
We had a beer at every single bar, but there was music at every single bar at that early in the morning. Um, and plus, you could play 3 or 4 shows a day, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, I was doing the 10 to 2s at Nudies when I first
Okay.
moved here. Just co-fronting, just trying to learn the ropes of Broadway. And then yeah, I would go do like writers rounds at night or do another gig later. Like so it just like yeah, you can make your schedule as busy as you want. Like I know guys that do 3 a day. It's like 4-hour shifts and it's like, "Oh my god." But as an artist, I got to like make time for writing, co-writing during the
Oh
day and
yeah.
studio and podcasting and all the things that we got to do as artists. So I can't just be playing all the time as much as I would love to. So,
No, especially if you're trying to go farther than that. If you want to stay doing the bar scene and doing covers and throwing some originals in there, yeah, you can do that all day long. Not saying that's a bad thing because there's people that make living doing that.
oh yeah.
Uh, but when you do those, do you do cover songs and whatnot, or you just do all originals?
For a 4 hour, we'll do a lot of covers for sure.
Mm.
But yeah, it depends because some venues want different things and stuff. But I try to throw in as many originals as I can.
Oh
Like
yeah.
in Chicago, like there's less rules about what you can and can't play. So we would do like so many originals, like half the set, like 2 hours worth, and we would just be ripping. So it's I like it when there's no rules because then I can really draw the crowd in and make it like a show that they won't forget and make it unique. So,
Uh,
but yeah,
Um, you were talking about the rider round. Have you met Cole Greenwald yet?
yeah, yeah. Cole's a good buddy of mine.
Dude, he's so fucking chill, man. I had him on. He contacted me like June or July, and he was like, "Hey, man, can I get on your podcast?" And this was last year, and I was like, "Yeah, man. When you want to do it?" He's like, "Well, I like to do it closer to my single," and I was like, "Yeah, man, for sure." I said, and I kind of forgot about it, and then he literally hit me up like the week before the single came out, and he was like, "Hey, man, you still still mind if I get on?" And I'm like, "Hell no, dude, let's do this." And I didn't know what to expect, and dude's so chill, so humble.
Yeah,
He's a really cool cat, man, and I would like to get him back on again, actually. But that single that he put out, more like 32, that's such a great song, man. And I guess he has a new single called Alcoholic.
yeah,
But you, for instance, so let's talk about you. You got I the song April to July. Obviously that wasn't on the last record that you just put out. That was
yeah,
just released as a single.
yeah.
And that song, man, it's a catchy fucking song. I'm gonna say that it's catchy. The melodies in that song are just like okay. You can tell, you can see all the different elements that are in that song from what from your background, and that's pretty rad. Um,
Appreciate it,
what's the story behind that song?
bro. So yeah, I played that at a writers round one night, and I like wrote it the night before, and I was like, all right, this is kind of like a fun song. Like it'll get the crowd hyped. And then like everybody's like, dude, is that out? Like, are you gonna cut that? I'm like, nah, this song was just like kind of a joke. Like I was just trying to do like the emo cowboy thing, like put it all
For
together,
sure.
pop punk, and like make something that was like, fit this like persona. And people were like super into it. I'm like, shit, I guess this is what I'm doing now. So put that out, put some videos of me singing it on a skateboard, and it like went like kind of viral. And so I was like, God damn. Like people were then coming up to me in town being like, "You're the guy that sings April to July." I'm like, yeah. I'm like, shit. Like I guess it
You
worked.
went you went from the emo cowboy or the red jacket guy to the April to July guy, you know?
Yeah. So
But I mean, that's what you got to do though. You know, sometimes there's that one song that you might think is, like, and then it's like everybody fucking loves it, you know? So,
dude, and it's fun. Like you got to have fun with music too. It can't be all the serious songs all the time, you know.
oh yeah,
So
yeah.
so I got four more coming out for like an EP like soon. I just cut them like last week actually. So I got one Cherry Stem that's coming out September 5th, and then
Okay.
we're going to do a few more. Got a song called Born Dead, where I do some like hearty like screamo shit. And
Okay.
then I got a song called Gas Station Roses, which is I wrote with my buddy and Michael Pritchett, who's pretty dope. You should have him on too. He's a good
Okay.
writer.
Michael Pritchett.
Yeah.
So I hear you say we. So do you have your own band?
Yeah, so I've had like a lot of different band members filtering in and out over the years, but when I go in the studio, like I usually if I have a drummer that I've been working with, like I like to bring in a live drummer rather than program drums
For
or
sure, for sure.
but I've also used like just studio musicians as well. So I have a producer in town, Grady James, and we kind of work together on the production. Like I'll do a lot of the tracking at home here in my studio, and then we'll kind of bring it to life. But yeah, I do all the guitar work though myself.
You know, that's a good thing that you're saying because I was wanting to touch on that and I kind of forgot about it. But when you're in Nashville as a solo artist as yourself, and you got to get these studio musicians or you got to get these people, you got to pay for them hourly rates. Is that right? So
A lot of
it's
times, yeah.
unless you're unless they're the homie or something, they might hook you up or whatnot. But at the end of the day, people think it's cheap to write music and record music, but if you gotta get producers and you got to get studio time and you got to get you got to get these hired guns, to sort of say, that one song can get pretty fucking pricey. Yeah,
Oh yeah. Oh
you
yeah.
know.
And I try and do my best to like have everything prepared going in. Like I put out a lot of stuff that I've done all the instruments and production on and done kind of the Zach Bryan type thing where it's like, just kind of loose and like it's not going to sound like all the pristine radio stuff today, but that's what
Yeah,
makes it cool type of thing. But with this like new stuff that I'm trying to do, it's more of a Nashville sound that I'm going for. And then the pop punk is it's pretty well produced. Like those bands like Fall Out Boy and Blink, like those records are pretty like there's a lot
yeah.
of production. So that's kind of what we're going for now. So it fits, but I definitely gotta get the right people. So
And I mean, and once you find the right people, I'm sure you get a connection with them, and you guys kind of have a rhythm and style. So you kind of want to reuse them instead of finding somebody else. That you have to re-explain how you want to do your thing. Like if you already
yeah,
have somebody, they know your style, they know what you want. Yeah. So
yeah.
um, you said Fall Out Boy and Blink. The guitar player Chad Gilbert from Newfound Glory lives in Franklin.
Oh no way.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. He's going through battling, cancer and he fought it, but now he's going through chemo still and stuff. So he's not
Mm.
able to play a lot of shows with them. And he did play the Newfound Glory show in Nashville. And everybody, it was so good for him and to get out and play. And I guess he played St. Louis the other night, but he plays like one-offs here and there because he gets to get cleared. But yeah, he lives in Nashville. I think the newest Newfound Glory album was written at his house in Nashville. Like all the guys come over and they'll write the music in Franklin. So that's pretty cool.
That's always cool when you can do it like that. When you got all the guys and you're all
Hmm.
homies. Like I know like the new MGK record, like he just made in his living room with his buddies and like Mod Sun and like some of these guys like helped
Bro.
out. So
So Mod's son, um, years ago, and I'm thinking like, fuck, 20. I always say 2008, but 2008 or 2009, I want to say. I could be wrong on that. He was on tour. Mod Son was on tour with Johnny Craig, um,
Yeah.
and this other band, Fight Fair. Okay, or Fight Fair, was that the name of them? Anyway, they were my buddy, I say my mom's best friend's son, which is like I guess it's my cousin. You just say because you know how that works.
Yeah.
He was on tour with them, and they all crashed at my crib. And Mod's son was probably one of the chillest dudes, man. He's so rad. But that was in his heavy partying days, you know. Uh,
Yeah.
but he seems like he still seems like a real humble, chill guy. Um, I love his new music. It's great. Even the new MGK album, fucking, it's great. It's
Yeah.
great. I don't care
I-
what anybody says.
I'm a
Hate
big
on
MGK fan, so I know he's
everything, right?
controversial, but yeah,
You know,
he's
everything.
badass.
I really, you know, obviously I got introduced to him around the same time I got introduced to Yellow Wolf during their hip hop eras back in the day when what was it 100 miles and run 100 his first, I can't think of the name right now, but anyway,
Yeah.
and I had, you know, his hip hop man was even telling stories back then, you know. And but then, you know, everyone's like, oh, he went up against Eminem and then he fucking left the genre and went to punk rock and now he's doing whatever he's doing. I'm like, who cares? He's doing music that he enjoys doing. People are into it. You know,
Yeah.
he's one of the biggest artists out there right now. So kudos to him.
Dude, and he's got to be probably one of the hardest working artists like
For
right now.
sure.
Like the amount of music he has put out, like between him and Jelly Roll, like Jelly Roll might be the only guy that works harder. Like,
Yeah.
dude, these guys like they don't stop, and
It,
they don't care what people say because they're just gonna put out more shit anyways. You know what I'm saying?
because the more you shit you talk about me, the more shit I'm gonna put out, and I'm gonna
Yeah,
prove you wrong. You know, it's like everyone keeps talking shit about MGK. Oh, can he still rap? Can he still rap? Fuck yeah, you can still rap. I've seen him do his little freestyles, and currently, I think he's recording another hip hop record, which I'm stoked about because
yeah,
I want to hear it. And everyone's gonna clown him. Everyone's gonna clown him because it's not Eminem, but it's MGK. He tastes true to himself,
yeah.
and that's all that matters. You know, staying true to yourself is what matters. Fuck the fans if they don't like what you're doing, because guess what? Someone out there likes it, and look where he's at. He's fucking headlining huge festivals. You know, so
Yeah,
preach.
seriously. Like
Uh,
that's how it goes. Once you get
Have
to the
you ever seen
top.
MGK? Oh
Dude,
yeah.
I haven't, man, and I've been wanting to forever, but I've never got the opportunity yet. So,
So when was the whole Rap Devil? Was that like 2018, 2017?
I think
Right. I guess like
right before
2018, I think.
COVID, I think, because COVID
Yeah.
is when he started the pop punk things, because him and Travis Barker were doing all that stuff online.
Phenomenal.
Yeah,
Phenomenal. Tickets to My Downfall, phenomenal. You know,
yeah.
even Hotel Diablo was fucking epic as well. But what I was going to say was he was on tour at Fallout Boy. It was like Fallout Boy featuring MGK.
Oh, no way. That's sick.
Yeah. So this chick I was talking at the time, she had got tickets and we went. Not only did I get to see MGK and Fallout Boy, but fucking Gym Class Heroes opened up and I had no idea. So
Oh, shit.
I'm a huge Travis McCoy fan. I think Travis McCoy is fucking epic. You know,
Mm.
he's such an artist, you know, with everything he does. And I'm like, holy fuck, Fallout Boy, fucking Gym Class Heroes. It's like early 2000s all over again, you know?
Yeah.
But and then to throw MGK in there, and actually I believe, you know, now that I think about it, I think it was the day or 2 days after he dropped that, because he dropped it when he was in Detroit. He got booed there at Detroit, and then he came to Nashville, and everybody cheered on when he played Rap Devil. So I'll give him that.
Oh my god, he did it in
Like,
Detroit.
yeah, hey, that you got balls, you know.
Yeah, dude, seriously. He gives
I
no
re-
fucks.
I remember Yellow Wolf was like on one of the tracks. He was like, "Hey, and don't and because you know Eminem signed Yellow Wolf, you know, and he was like, yo, please don't take me off that MGK track on one of his verses, you know." But if you think about it, I'm surprised no one said this yet. But MGK was signed by P Diddy,
Oh, yeah, I did see
you know,
that. I did see that.
and
Yeah.
well, because on one of his mixtapes, you know, P Diddy calls him up, and but I'm like, with all the P Diddy drama out there, no one has said anything about MGK and P Diddy.
I know. They're all saying it about Justin Bieber, but they missed the other guy. Yeah,
Justin Bieber. I feel bad for that guy. That guy was on top of his game, and like all this shit, he's just like, you know, hiding out now.
I know.
It's whatever,
I
dude.
know.
Like I said, good music, good music. That guy writes some good fucking music too. Um,
Dude, insane. That have you ever
there
seen
was.
that clip with he's where he's with the orchestra and he's like telling everyone what to play? Like,
Oh fuck no!
dude, you
I have
got to
to look
check
that
it
up.
out. Like he's like telling the violin what to play and like he's like singing it and then he goes over to the cello and he says, "You play this." And he's like it's like Mozart. Like it's insane. Like he's just like orchestrating a whole band like in real time.
Well, get this shit. I just looked up on Spotify. He is the number 3 artist on Spotify,
Damn.
and he is. Oh, he did put an album out, didn't he? Yeah, he did put an album out.
Yeah, he just
Um,
did.
okay, so that's probably why. And I actually need to give that a listen to. I heard it's pretty fire. Um, that album he put out before that, there's a song on there called "Lonely" on the
Mm,
on the and that song, man, it's like if it looks like it feels like it's from the heart because it's just like he's talking about basically from what I gathered is like he's at the top and it's like he just feels so alone and because he doesn't have anybody because when you get to that top you don't know who to trust anymore plus what I'm saying you got to watch your back always because someone's always out to get you or you got people who want to steal your money even family members that's the worst part family members.
mm-hmm.
What's that artist in this area? Not Hardy, Upchurch. You know,
Upchurch, yeah.
uh, he's gone through some issues with his mom taking money from him and buying houses and shit with under his name and without his say so. It's like you can never you gotta watch who you got, and even your family can be your worst enemy.
Yeah, and you get burned, quite a few times on the way up, I'm sure, to where it's like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, you're extra careful.
You
Yeah.
know, So for you, like what you're doing now, you're still in the beginning process and you're still trying to make a name for yourself. How's your parents feel about you and your music career?
Um, well, I've been doing this for a while, so it's just kind of expanding to the point of Nashville now. So like I opened for Jason Derulo at Soldier Field in
Oh
Chicago.
yeah.
Yeah, and
Good.
I've done a lot of really cool stuff. Um, but yeah, dude, I'm like just grateful cuz like I said, this emo cowboy thing is starting to get attention, but like I never expected that. Like this was like low key kind of a joke. And it's
Yeah. But
like,
if
hey,
it's popping off, you got to run with it, right? I mean, sometimes you don't know what the people are gonna want or like, and if they like the emo, and I fuck with the emo cowboy thing. It's funny. I was talking to a dude at work today, and I was like, he was like, well. Who you got coming on tonight? And I was like, the emo cowboy. He's like, wait, is that the dude's name? And I was like, no, I think that's like his moniker, it's like the emo cowboy. And he's like,
yeah,
that's pretty cool. And then like I said, but isn't all country and all cowboys emo? And he goes, pretty much.
yeah,
But I think it's cool though, man. I think it's pretty dope. It's I definitely need to rock out. I'm about to try to get. I need to get one of those little hats because I think I'd wear the fuck out of that.
yeah,
Um,
dude. On my website, bradredlich.com.
yep, I got it pulled up right now.
Hell yeah.
Um, but and I got my homeboy had a company back in the day called Southern as Fuck.
Oh, that's
It's
sick.
yeah.
Fuck
Yeah,
yeah.
but he kind of closed it down because the wrong clientele was getting into it, and he didn't want to
Uh,
be, so he pulled away. But it was cool for a while, Southern as fuck, man.
yeah.
Um, but yeah. So how many times during the Jason Derulo show did you hear Jason Derulo?
I think it's like every song.
Kind of like fucking like a DJ Khaled show. He's like you
Yeah.
hear and another one.
And another one. We the best.
Yeah,
Mr.
yeah,
Worldwide. I need one of those, dude. Like
yeah.
I'm open to suggestions, so
Emo Cowboy.
yeah. Emo
And then
cowboy.
have like a little cry, at the end, like a little
Yeah.
teardrop or something. The emo cowboy with a teardrop or something. That's what you need. You need to get like you, like a cartoon character of you as like a emo dude with a cowboy hat and a swoopy thing, and then like with the little teardrop, the emo cowboy.
Oh, hell yeah. Do it. Put it on a
Yeah.
t-shirt.
Oh, it'll sell, right? But
Yeah.
so currently, I mean, I know you do you have a 9 to 5?
I actually went full time 2 months ago now.
Okay, okay. And how's
Yeah.
it? And so that pushes you hard to succeed because you don't want you now. This is your income. This is your job,
Oh
and you
yeah.
got to give it 100%. So yeah, man, that's I respect that hustle there. You know, saying you know what, if you have faith in yourself and you're like fuck the 9 to 5, I'm doing this full time, man. You know, you gotta put the grind in. You know, so what's
Yeah.
what's your what's your vision for the next year?
Um, dude, it's we're going down to Texas in a few months to go hit up that market, and I think our shit's gonna pop off there because they got like the Co-Wetzel guys,
Hmm.
a lot of that alternative country stuff coming out of Texas, and they like just authentic people. So, we're gonna check that out, dude. I think that's gonna be huge for us. A lot of badass people in Texas.
Have Have you tried to get yourself into South by Southwest?
Um, I've looked at it, but I haven't like pursued it or anything like that. But yeah, definitely
I
cool.
don't I don't really know what that does, you know. Like, I mean, I know what it's about, but I don't really I don't really know how much of how push you get from that unless you're somebody that's on a bigger stage or something that's getting because you know you got these little small. I mean, you never know though. I say that, but you never know. The smallest clubs might have the biggest person seeing the show, and you might get signed. You know, so
Yeah.
who knows?
Well, we did CMA Fest this past year,
Oh,
and it was
right.
funny. Like you brought up like the truck bed thing. Like we actually rode on a moving truck bed and played going through CMA Fest.
That's
So we
that's
got
kind of cool.
And then we got a write up in the Tennessean newspaper, and like they took our picture and put us up. So there was like a lot of people that texted me like, "Dude, I saw you do that," and it's like, yeah, that
Cool.
was like the craziest thing ever. But
Now, do you have footage of this? Because that needs to go in a video.
yeah, I got some footage. I put it out, but I gotta like repost it because
Yeah.
there's just all these things I gotta post, and it's like, you know,
It's rough when when it's only you doing your social and everything. It's hard. It's a lot of work. But you know, like me, I've been doing this. I was doing this for a little over a year by myself, and then I got a buddy on mine who's my co-host, and he's been doing it for like the last 2 months with me. But for the most part, I'm doing I do all the stuff. You know, I record everything from here. He's in Buffalo, New York, but then I do all the layouts, I do all the videos, I do all the posting, and sometimes I forget to post because I'm like, fuck, it's Monday, shit, I got to post.
yeah.
But um, and then I'll just post the next day because I don't want to post the episode in the middle of the day. I have a rhythm, but it's tough, man. But I wouldn't have it any other way. It's fun,
Oh
Um,
yeah. Yeah, for sure. So I like doing the video editing stuff and
yeah.
shooting, but it's just yeah, there's just like so many things I have to post. It's like I play a show here, like I have this residency at Live Oak on Music Row here where we do an emo cowboy night. So it's like actually my night, like sponsored, and then people come and see us. So we do this on Mondays and then Fridays. Monday's like an industry night and we bring all these people out and I
Uh-huh.
pull people on stage, and it's like it's really cool. You never know who's going to show up. So I've been kind of enjoying that. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm focused on right now in town here. But yeah,
How's the Friday night gigs?
those are cool, but it's a lot more like touristy, like party crowd type of people. So those
They're
are
just
good
they're
money.
just Yeah, because they're just there to drink, and they're gonna hear they hear,
Yeah.
they don't give a fuck who's on stage, but you're
No.
still entertaining them, and I'm sure you get all right, let me ask you I'm gonna ask you this, since you do play it and it is, the Friday night, what's one song that you always get a request that you have to play? What's that song?
Well, we got a request to play April to July twice last night. So,
Blew you away?
yeah, I was like, what the hell? They're like, I know you played this earlier, but I want to hear it again. So we've been like people who know me that want to hear that song, they'll request it, but people who don't know who I am, like I don't know, like we had these moms that wanted to hear Stacy's mom. So I was like, all right,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
cool. I'm down.
I Stacy's mom, that's so rad. It was like, one time, my band, we played our set, and then they're like, play one more song, and we're like, and then the sound guy was like, you guys have 45 minutes if you still want it, because our sets were always hella small. So we played our set backwards from the last song to the first song, and nobody knew the different. Nobody knew that it was different. They just thought it was all different songs. We're like,
Yeah.
fuck it, But so Nashville though, Friday nights, great time to play down there. Obviously, like I said, we're no matter if it's people are there for you or people are there to drink, you're getting heard. Have you ever played the Bluebird?
I have not. That's one of the places I've actually never even been in there.
Really?
But I try to go in there one time and they were doing construction, and then it's kind of weird like how it sells out really fast, and then
For
to
sure,
play
for
it
sure.
it's a little more difficult. But yeah, I need to get over there. That's definitely a spot I gotta get to.
Besides obviously the Ryman, what's one of your bucket list venues to play in Nashville? Like historic venues.
Um well, Basement East is like that's like a lot of people's you're about to blow up moment. Like if you can sell that out or you can put on a really good show at Basement East. Like Ella Langley did a show there and it sold out, and then next thing you know she's like the biggest thing in country. So that's definitely like as an artist like that's something I really want to do. But yeah, historic places like I don't even know, dude. I'm like I just I I'm like amazed that I'm even like here every day playing like Live Oak or Losers or like any of these like awesome places that people go hang out, and there's so much history. Like it just
Yeah.
being in Nashville anywhere, I feel like is something I never thought would really
It's
happen.
it's such a historic town, so much shit has
Mm,
happened here. So many amazing bands have, I say bands, but country singer guy, come out of there. And
yeah,
then just to see that who's moved to Nashville, who lives in Nashville that are from, all walks of life and music, that live there. You got members of Motley Crue and members of Megadeth, and then you got but then you got the Paramore kids, and then I
yeah,
say kids, they're in their 30s. They're not kids, but they're still kids. Then you got Kings of Leon. You got all these people that live in Nashville, man. It's just it's incredible, And people hate that everyone's moving, quote unquote, from California or whatever to Nashville. But you know what? So be it.
yeah. I mean, country's just had such a big moment these past few years, but I think rock is like really like coming back like at a big way right now. Like I've seen it's like the fastest growing
Well,
genre.
they
So,
said this year, they said this year rock or rock metal, whatever, is the fastest genre that's popped off this year. And I'm like, that's pretty cool. It's like right now, currently, what's some of like say rock metal, whatever kind of bands are you into currently?
dude, like Sleep Theory, I don't know if you
Yeah.
listen to them
Yeah.
yet, but like
The
I've
They all
been
wear the
listening to them.
masks and stuff.
Yeah, well
Yeah.
there's Sleep Token and then there's Sleep
Oh, Sleep
Theory.
Token. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Sleep Theory, I
Sleep
don't know.
Sleep Theory, they just had a number 1 in rock radio like this week. I think the song's called like Static or something. Dude, the singer is like
Okay, I
insane. Like
see,
some of
yeah.
these rock singers, like their like you were talking Johnny Craig and like some of these guys, like, oh my God, these singers, like, where are they? They're not in pop. They're in rock, you know?
I mean, I don't care what people say, man. Look at fucking Ronnie Radke from fucking Falling in Reverse. Like
Exactly.
that
Exactly.
fucking dude. I don't care how much people hate on that dude. He he does he's a business. That's his work he's up there doing. That's a business that he's doing. It's like
Mhm.
his stage present, he controls the fucking crowd. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a beast, man. So, but that dude can sing. Like, who knew he could sing? And then he did that reimagined version of Papa Roach's Last Resort, where he played piano and sang it. It's like, where did that fucking come from? So,
Yeah. He's a professional. Who would have
dude,
thought?
yeah, he is. And then the song that he did with Jelly Roll, huh, smart man. Because guess what? That song went fucking number one.
Yep.
So he's not a stupid guy. He's very intelligent.
Oh yeah. Seriously.
So Sleep Theory, I got that on my thing. I'm gonna check them out. What else you into? What else? What Okay, let's do. What's on your playlist? What's 5 songs on your playlist?
Oh, I just made this like Emo Cowboy playlist on Spotify. Like legit. Like I'm trying to find more people to add to it.
Well,
So
I'm gonna promote that playlist when we get done. I'm gonna play like, yo,
sick.
check out the Emo Cowboys playlist.
Yeah, and if people want to add more stuff to it, this band Lakeview, have you heard
Oh
of them
yeah,
yet?
they're they used to be like a metalcore band, right? And then they went like kind
Yeah.
of country route. And I believe the singer from the band E Town Concrete, I think, is their manager. I'm not too sure.
Okay.
I could be wrong. Anthony, I think his name is. But yeah, they're good, man. I fuck with them.
Yeah, they're homies. I opened for them in Chicago, and actually on the Struggle Jennings show, it was me, Struggle, and Lakeview. That was a badass night. And yeah, so they just dropped a new song, pretty badass. This guy Austin Mead, have you heard of him?
No,
He's
no.
out of Texas. He's got this like punk like metal vibe. He also plays a flying V. I play a white flying V. He's got like an all black one.
All
And
right, I just went ahead and followed him on Spotify so I can know to listen to it later.
dude,
Um,
he's awesome.
yeah, he
He
looks pretty. He looks pretty awesome, man. He has tattoos, bro.
yeah. Yeah, we just saw him at Basement East with Hinder like 2 weeks ago,
Oh yeah, okay.
and they're playing a bunch of stuff from their new record that's coming out, and it's like, dude, this shit's gonna pop off. Like the songs are insane.
Wow,
So,
he's his schedule. I'm looking at his schedule. He's fucking busy.
dude, he like tours, he like plays shows 7 days a week. Like I don't think he has days off. Like he's just always on the road.
He's playing a show. I don't know if it's like it might be a fest, but he's playing with Plain White Tees, Cold War Kids, Third Eye Blind. Third Eye
Hell yeah.
Blind, that'd be pretty fucking dope. You know.
Oh, dude, I love that band. Those early records, man, like
To
that
think
was
about the Jumper song. Eh, what is it? Jumper? No, it's
Semi Charmed Life.
Yeah, to think about what those lyrics were and they were on the fucking radio
Yeah.
about this dude. Yeah, I'm like, holy shit, this dude just fucking OD'd on fucking in there fucking just chilling, letting it play on the radio, man. But they're uh they're such a talented band. Their latest record that came out a couple years back, man, was fucking great.
Mhm.
They're one of those bands that a lot of people love them no matter what genre of music because they're kind of like they're from
Yeah.
San Francisco. They're from the that area up there. You know, they're part of that. I don't say they're part of that punk scene, but they came from San Francisco where you had a great punk scene, a great metal scene, a great everything scene up there. You know, so um, they're kind of like they're don't hate me if out there people, but they kind of got that Oasis vibe. You know, kind of like dirty grungy kind of guy. Not that the look, but that attitude. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. They got a chip
Um,
on their shoulder for sure.
yeah, there you go. That's the better word for you.
Yeah. No, yeah,
um,
they're dope. Those records are big influences on me. That 90s stuff, dude.
so are you a '90s kid or a 2000s kid?
90s.
'90s, okay.
Yeah.
The music that came out in that era, it's just to me, there's not a time like the '90s. With whether it was punk rock, whether it was alternative music, whether it was even country, but even R&B. The best R&B, in my opinion, is in the '90s. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like Jodeci and fucking H Town and fucking all that kind of shit. Shy and Boys to Men, but they're in the '80s too. But all that shit, man. I'm a huge nerd for
Yeah.
fucking '90s fucking R&B. But anyway, even the hip hop in the '90s, everything in that era was just like unique. Um,
Dude, so much everyone had like so much character to their own thing. It was like if you were similar to another band, like we would like not listen to you, you
yeah,
know? Like
right.
you had to have your own thing. And I feel like that's kind of I think that's coming back a little bit now. But it was like almost like you could turn on the radio and hear five country singers and you didn't know the difference. Like, now I feel like everyone's kind of finding their own lane, which I feel like is really
Correct.
cool. Like yeah.
What do you feel about the state of like the where country what do you how do you feel where what country music's at now? Like what do you feel about that? Like it's a with the more popular route. Is that how do you feel about that? Do you think it's cool, different? You makes it it's just a change in the guards?
Yeah, dude. There's so much stuff coming out that's like all over the place and it's all country somehow. Like Wetzel is country, but he's got like heavy rock breakdowns, Lakeview's country, but they got
Mhm.
even heavier stuff.
Yeah.
And and then there's like, the big name pop artists too, and that's country. So like I don't even know what country is anymore, but I
Yeah.
do know that the main piece to me that makes something country is like the storytelling of it. And like
Yeah.
that's something that I always try to put into that's what I love about the genre is it tells a real ass story and that's, what's up.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's kind of like people would say about punk rock and whatnot, and hardcore or metal. It's like it's it's all about how it's all about how you see it as a person. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like for you, you're doing your country thing. Somebody else might not think it's country, but
Mhm.
that's how you feel about it, and that's where you're at. I everybody like I don't know. You know that band Turnstile?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, some people don't say they're a hardcore band, but they are hard. That's their roots. That's where they came from. And they
Yeah.
still have the hardcore elements and the attitude. That's what it is. It's the attitude that you give, what I'm saying, to make you what it is. And nowadays it's like you can't say what country is nowadays. You can't say what metal is nowadays. You can't say what hip hop is nowadays. It's like everything is so meshed together, and I think that's fucking great. I think it's awesome because it opens up fan bases for more people.
Oh, totally. And I think like it's good that there are these big pop artists or these crossover acts bringing just more people into the genre. It's
Mhm.
like it's just like the people that only like traditional country and think that's the only version of country, like how are they supposed to find out about it if there's nothing new coming out that's appealing to bring in new fans, younger fans, right?
Well,
So that's what's cool to me. Like people will listen to Shabuzi and then they'll be like, okay, like now I want to listen to Toby Keith or something, like because I'm at this country concert and he did a cover of his song. So
mhm.
it's like they're paying respects, but doing it in their own way, which I think that's music. Like that's what we all should be doing, right?
And that's one thing about Shabuzi is like people don't realize that he was a hip hop artist before he was a country artist.
Hmm.
And that's and that's great because the dude can fucking do it. He can sing his ass off. And the album before his the one with that the Tipsy song, but the album before that, fucking fire. You know what I'm saying? But then
Yeah,
his country album, it was great too.
yeah.
I enjoy it, man. I think it's great. Whatever you'd play is what you play, and if you enjoy it, you enjoy it. Like you said, if somebody hears one person, it might open them up to another country artist. I mean, at the end of the day, everybody in every genre knows who the fuck a Garth Brooks is. They know what Garth Brooks is.
Yeah.
They know Johnny Cash. They know these characters, but there's more out there than this. There's so
Oh
many
yeah.
other, so many younger up and coming acts. And would you say you're an up and coming artist?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
And I think it's you know, everyone's got different goals. Like I'm independent right now, and like I want to stay that way as long as I can, before signing those big deals and stuff. And I do everything myself, and I take pride in that. But I have less expenses than the bigger artists. So like
for
as an
sure.
independent artist, like you don't have to play stadiums to make money. Like, but if you're signed to a big deal, that's you have to sell out every show, like just
Yeah.
the contracts and everything and how it works. But yeah.
I don't know how it is like in the country world, and I guess I don't really know how it is in most worlds, but currently, I mean, as a solo artist and with the way that the internet is nowadays and the opportunities you can do to or not the opportunity the options that you can do as a solo person, an individual, as far as your music, you can put your own music up there. You can do this, you can do that. I guess the real thing is it's like to get a label or get like a management, you'd want to do that if you wanted to get bigger tours on, if you wanted to get on bigger tours or bigger shows, right? Is that basically what a manager would do for you? Is get you where you can't get?
That's what like they're supposed to do. But today it's like there's guys that are doing it that don't have managers that are doing it at a high level. And it's
Yeah,
they have help, right? Like there's you got to have friends like in the industry and have people that believe in you. But like, you know, It you got to be careful because there's so much you can do. Like I opened for Jason Derulo by myself. Like I opened for Struggle Jennings and Lakeview and a bunch of these bands. Like through me being persistent and putting out, good quality content and music and bringing people out to shows. So there's opportunities, at every level that are a big deal. I think.
And so you said you played with Derulo at Soldier Field. How did you go about getting on that show?
Yeah, so I was actually in the studio recording my record, and I get a call from one of the people that do the booking for Soldier Field. And so it actually was
Wow.
like through, yeah, so they were doing an event, they were doing this country night event, but I couldn't do that. So they called me back a few weeks later and they said, "Hey, we actually have a bigger show we want you to open up for." Um, and Jason Derulo is closing out the night, and it's for the Chicago Fire. So I actually played like I opened the before the game started and did a halftime show, and then Derulo did the closing night, the after show. So it wasn't like just his concert, but it
Yeah.
was still like a big show for me to be on, in a way of like my name is associated with this guy, So but yeah, they just saw my social media posts and stuff, and I've been playing a lot of places around town. Like Chicago has Tin Roof and Barstool, and a place called Old Crow, which is like an insane like party country bar. So, you know, I've just been doing it.
You said the same thing about Jason Derulo. So we played one time in Nashville, my band, and in the same venue, Young Buck played, the rapper Young Buck played like in the room
Uh,
next to us,
yeah.
and we played a show in the room next to him, and so we played. So I'm like, yeah, we opened up for Young Buck, you know what I'm saying? So, and
Yeah.
I did go in and see him perform, and he was just doing like, he did his some of his songs, but then he just did like verses of other songs he was on, you know. But I was like, yeah, man, we opened up for Young Buck, you know. So that's the way I still look at it.
Oh yeah, you gotta market yourself
Oh
accordingly.
yeah.
But
um.
yeah, it's just, there's a lot of cool stuff that you can do as an independent artist, like,
Yeah.
you know.
You can basically play whenever you want or play with whoever you want to. You don't have to, if you have a manager or whatever, they're probably like, oh no, let's hold off and not play for the next couple of weeks, you
Mhm.
know, because you're going to be playing here next week and we want to get more people here. But at the end of the day, you still want to get yourself out there and you still want people to know who you are and still because you might not play for 2 or 3 weeks and you might be missing out on some new fans, because you're not out there hustling and you're not out there fucking grinding, playing all these little smaller, bars or clubs.
Yeah, and you definitely got to say no to stuff like as you're growing, you got to realize like what the next step is and have be very intentional about like the shows you're trying to book and where you're trying to get to. And I co-write with a lot of people in town now. Like I co-write with country people, I co-write with alternative people, co-write with pop people. So it's like I'm also trying to work that lane as well as
Yeah.
just a songwriter. So it's like making time for all these different things.
Yeah.
That's kind of the thing of like you got to really know what you're trying to do and know what's working and what's not. So that's kind of what's been my focus since moving to Nashville. Like Chicago, it's not really like a co-writing town. Like can't get a big cut with like you know Cody Johnson by writing a song in Chicago. Like you need to be
Yeah.
here. So that was a big purpose of the move too.
I was talking to when I was talking to Colt, he was telling Cole was saying like, with the writer circle, I asked him how that works, It's like what happens if you're like 9 people in a writer's circle and then that song that you guys write goes off to, an artist and then that becomes a hit. How do y'all get paid? And he said, well, now the way things are, it's like you will get paid 9 ways. Back in like some of these places like in LA or the old day, you wouldn't get because sometimes you would get pushed out and only certain people would get paid. But the
Yeah.
way the writer circles are in Nashville now, if there's 9 people, then you're getting some of that cut too, And it's like, well, that's kind of cool, Has you know, who are some of the people that you would like to write with or write for?
Yeah, so about a week ago I wrote with like a pretty big writer who wrote cuts for Cody Johnson. He had some number one hits with Cody Johnson. And so we wrote a song. He was actually the first person I met that was a full-time songwriter in Nashville. I met him in Chicago. I did an opening show for him. His name's Barrett Baber, and he was on The Voice and all these things. So he has got his own artist career too. But yeah, we wrote a song, and like he's does it full time and signed to a publishing deal, and we're pitching it around right now to different artists and stuff. So we'll see if anything happens. But people write 200 songs a year and get two major cuts. If they're lucky, like that's successful year.
Yeah.
So it's definitely kind of a numbers game, and also just a chance. But I enjoy it though. I like the collaboration of it, and I feel like I can help bring something unique to the table with different songs. So
That's and now these songs that you're writing, do you like, man, I think I could do this song, like these.
well, now it's kind of changed because I have a very specific like persona that is working, and marketing plan kind of that's working. I've done a lot of different stuff. Like if you look at my catalog, it's pretty deep. There's a lot of songs I put out, but like this stuff has been getting a lot of attention. So I'm now it's like I have so many songs that like if it fits somebody else's bag better, like I want them to cut it. I just want the song to get cut. Like I want to write good
I get
songs,
it.
and I want other people to hear them. That's the goal, you know. So if it's for me, that's cool. Like this song is it's a lot more country, traditional country. It's about a dog, dog that you love. So yeah, but yeah, we're trying to work with this nonprofit that's making a movie, and they have a bunch of like country singers in it. And we didn't write it for the pitch, but we just wrote it because we actually felt passionate about the song. But I don't know if I could put a song out like that, but maybe I could. Maybe that would be
Yeah.
really cool. But also, I could just play the song if it got big from another artist, and then like I'd be like, yeah, I helped write this song, type of thing, and that would be cool enough. So
I mean,
yeah,
yeah, because I mean, once it's recorded and if people know it, you can play it and be like, yeah, I helped write this song, So yeah.
yeah,
So back in July, you released the Shy Country album,
yeah,
right? Um, and then before that, you had the Shy Rock album, right? Is that correct?
yep,
Did I fuck that up? Okay.
yeah, yeah.
So what's with the Shy? Is that because of Chicago?
Yeah, so like the first rock record, the Shy Rock record, it just represents to me like a lot of like the roots that Chicago has. Like Chicago has like blues roots and like indie rock and alternative, and then there's also a lot of country fans in Chicago. Like you said, Zach Bryan's like the number one,
Yeah, that's
his
wild.
number one audience is in Chicago. So like that first record, I went in with a three-piece band. We recorded all the tracks live. I overdubbed vocals and keyboards and guitar solos, and like that was the record. Like it was legit. Like that's how a lot of records are cut in Chicago. Like that, just the classic rock type of way. So, and then the Shy Country record, I kind of did the same way, but it's a more acoustic vibe. And I brought in some session guys that I really enjoyed working with. And so it's a little more Zach Bryan-y, just like acoustic, laid back, not as in your face rock as like the first one. So it's kind of indie, indie rock, alternative country type of thing. So yeah, so that's kind of like the ethos behind the two of them.
So the song "Country Guy" is that a song about you, or is that anybody you know, or is that just a story you came up with?
Yeah, so like the hook line is like I ain't your kind of country guy, and that's kind
Yeah,
of like it's kind of a stab, not really like anything at anyone specific, but just like I felt like growing up country was like the genre of like really honest like songwriters that wrote their own songs, and it was like about something like real life stuff, and then all this bro country stuff came out. And I like Florida Georgia Line and all that, but I just feel like it got overdone. Of like, yeah, I'm country, but like nothing about me is country besides my clothes, type of thing.
Yeah.
And so it's like you don't even, have this. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
we're supposed to be the good guys, you know. So yeah. So it's like,
Is the country world kind of like like say like do people like hate on each other in the country world, like do like, oh, don't fucking work with that guy, he's a fucking tool, or don't work with this guy? Because like you hear about that like in other genres, but like country is it, I'm sure it's probably the same way. People don't want, oh, don't fuck with that guy, or people don't like your music or whatnot.
honestly, like, there's a lot more camaraderie in country
Cool.
than I found in other genres, because a lot of these guys, even if they're not, and what I found was like, okay, like I have my emo cowboy thing. That doesn't mean I don't listen to Alan Jackson and Willie Nelson and Waylon Jennings and all these guys. Like I played in bands where that's all we played was traditional country.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that I have a flying V and I am the emo cowboy. People don't think that like I'm into that stuff, but it's like if I were to do that, I don't think it would have fit. Like somebody else needs to do that. Like that's their thing. So it's like I might, but I could write a song, maybe like influence a song that's influenced by those guys and like pitch it to somebody. So it's like you're working with people that like all these different things. And I think that's what's cool about our generation growing up specifically is like we grew up with like albums, but then like we got to playlists, and it was like
Yeah.
every single genre was on my playlist or mixtape that I would give to my friend. Like, here's a rap song, here's a rock song, here's a country song, like, so on and so forth, because we would download our music, and it was like by song. It wasn't by album usually. It was you
Yeah.
download a song. So I think that's what's cool about today is like when you go see an artist and they do all these different things, like Post Malone, for example, it's like he's a connoisseur. He's just a music nerd.
Dude,
He's
yeah, he just like music, and he just like every album has everything on it. And yeah, he put out a country record, yeah, but there's so many hip hop elements. There are still some like rock elements. It's like, and he's another one that people like. You can't deny that this motherfucker's talented. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like and he's another one who's just like a fucking humble fucking dude. Like he's humble too. He knows he makes a lot of money. He knows he's who he is. But guess what? He will give you the shirt off his back.
yeah,
You know.
yeah.
But
He's super dope, and it's you just see that a lot. You see that a lot more now of
oh
like
yeah,
people being able to switch lanes a little bit more easier than like we had that one song in the early 2000s with like Tim McGraw and Nelly where they
yeah.
did a country rap crossover, and that shit was dope. But like a lot of the other crossovers like didn't work that well. It was
Well,
like
but then Nelly was like the crossover country guy for a little bit, because then he did like, I think he did one with Florida Georgia Line too. He did
yeah,
a remix of one of their songs too.
yeah.
But it is what it is. Can't hate on the guy. That's when I think the hip hop dudes were trying to sneak into the country world. But that then you kind of, if you want to look at it like that, you can say that's kind of when the hip hop element kind of jumped in the country, was around that time. It's no different than, say, the hip hop influence on metal in the 90s, when you got quote unquote the new metal era.
Mhm.
So it is what it is. It's the way I look at it, man, and I know you say it too. If you're out there doing your thing, what you love, and people are into it, that's all that matters. That's at the end of the day, that's the goal, is to make music that people fucking like.
Oh yeah. And people just always want the next new thing too. So
Oh
like
yeah.
you got to switch it up, and then people get bored of it. They're like, I want the old thing back. It's just like
Yeah.
this constant thing. So
And
yeah.
sometimes if you change too to try to sound like the new thing, people give you shit for that. It's like,
Oh yeah.
man, it's like, if I can do it, I can do it. It's like, who was I talking about the other day listening to their music? I mean, hell, I guess you got to move on you got to progress with the time. Basically, it's I guess what you got to do. You can't just stay. You got to stay relevant. I guess that's the word I'm looking for. Relevant. You got to stay relevant, and I guess you could say that's what MGK does. I guess you could say that's what Post Malone does, Jelly Roll does, and at the current time, those are the hot guys right now. And if people are into it, fuck it, man. Let them keep doing it because guess what? If tomorrow they fall off, they got cash in the bank to be good, you know. So
Oh yeah, for sure.
and Post Malone, I mean, and MGK's married to fucking Megan Fox.
Yeah.
Come on, you know. I bet you he
Right.
didn't think that. I don't think he thought that when he was a fucking teenager. I'm gonna be
No, I
fucking
mean
married to Mary Fox. Fucking
that's every man's dream growing up.
yeah,
Seeing
yeah.
Transformers, you're like, oh
Oh
my
man,
god.
she she dropped him for the 90210. Got rid of the 90210 guy and went to the MGK. You know, so
For sure.
um, so the rest of the year writing music, playing shows. Is that's what you got going for yourself?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, writing music, putting out music, playing shows, trying to tour as much as possible. We were out in LA like 3 times this year. We played Whiskey Go Go and House of
Oh
Blues
yeah,
out there. So we've done a lot of really cool shit already. So just kind of, I've been mentored by a few guys in town who've really been doing it, and they're just saying like, hey, like just keep doing what you're doing. Like you're doing all the right things. Like so I'm just like, okay, I'll just pedal to the metal, you know. But yeah, every day's a blessing doing this stuff because it's not easy, it's a lot of
no,
hard work. So but it's fun, if you do what you love, you don't have to work a day in your life. So
exactly. And then
yeah.
after the hard, if the hard work pays off, you'll be then you're good to go. You know, what I'm saying, and it takes the hard work to get where you want to get sometimes. So
Oh yeah.
I my band, we did our little thing for a little bit. You know, we had an album out on an independent, label, and we did our thing for a few years. But it wasn't. We didn't make it big. You know, we somebody pressed up our CD. You can get it. You were able to get it in Hot Topics. To me, I made it. I can go to the local Hot Topic here, and it was sitting in the fucking in the punk in the hardcore section. To me,
Yeah.
that's a win. You know, I've opened up for some great bands. I play with some great bands, and that's all I can ask for. You know, and yeah, did I have a 9 to 5 every fucking day? Sure did. But guess what? We did play a lot of shows. And that's all I could ask for. And I had fun doing it. A lot of sleepless nights because we'd play Cincinnati, come all the way back to Clarksville, and then go to work the next day. And then after that work, get back in and drive to Murfreesboro, play Murfreesboro. Like we would do that often. But guess what? It's what you did to do it, And
Oh yeah.
Could I do that exact same thing now? Probably not. But back then, sure enough.
Well, and
But
making records aren't cheap, like we were talking about earlier. It's like
no, no.
like if you don't have funding from somebody or a label or something, and you're doing it all yourself, and you want to own your masters, that's what I'm
Oh
doing.
man.
Like it's you kind of need that 9 to 5 to get off the ground and going, and then once something starts hitting, then it's like okay, like you can be more selective with what you're trying to do. But when you're trying to figure out who you are as an artist and what's going to connect with people, like you gotta it's a lot of trial and error. So
For
yeah.
sure, for sure. And at the end of the day, man, where you're at right now, you do have all your masters still, and that's the biggest thing, man. I guess when you sign a deal nowadays, I guess you at the end of the day, that's what you want to. You want to be able to keep your masters and not let somebody else own them because then you got to fight to try to get them back at the end of the day, and they're gonna be like, oh, we'll sell them to you for this much, but they're mine. Why are you gonna make me buy my music from you? But at the end of the day, you might not even own your own masters. So look at fucking Paul McCartney. He owns all the Beatles.
Yeah.
Uh, that's wild. And somebody owns Eminem now. I think Eminem sold his catalog. So that's
Yeah.
fucking weird. I couldn't. I mean, if you were if you were that big, say like Eminem, would you sell your catalog knowing you could just keep making money off it, or like you sell it for an X amount of money? I mean, are you just like, well, I don't understand that. That's I don't get these artists now that are just selling their catalogs off. I don't understand why they would do that. You know?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm like pretty like from humble beginnings. So
Yeah,
these people that got the mansions and all that, it's like yeah, I mean like if you got the money and you're the biggest artist
yeah,
in the world, like if you don't have a mansion at one point in your life, like you're living the dream. You gotta live a little, get
yeah,
yourself a nice car, right? But like, if you're gonna sell your masters, and that's like that will pay your kids and your kids' kids,
Yeah.
and that'll give you like longevity, like financially for generations. Like, I don't know. It's hard for me to say, but
Yeah. Because
I've never.
you're not in that situation yet.
No, and I've never really been in it for the money and the fame. I just really love this shit. Like, if you don't really love it, like, you're
Why are
not
you
gonna be
doing it?
making that money for a while anyways.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's like you're gonna quit. So I just do the stuff that I love, and I don't spend time doing the stuff I don't, and that life's too short. So
for sure. And like you
yeah,
said, you made that decision. You quit the 9 to 5 to focus on this and just keep putting out the music. And what if it hits? Whatever hits, going to hit when it's right. And I would keep pushing that April to July, because that song, I'm gonna lie, man, that fucking song's catchy as shit. I'm not gonna lie. So that song was stuck in my head today because I was listening to a bunch of stuff yesterday and today, and then
yeah,
a country guy was the chorus of country guy was just stuck in my
no
head
shit. That's
out of
awesome.
nowhere. I'm not even listening to it. I didn't have my headphones. I'm just walking around, and then
Damn.
that chorus is just in my head. But if it's catchy,
Yeah.
that's what's gonna work, and that's what you want. I would for you. I don't know what you've released as far as the single wise, but did Country Guy get released as a single for yourself?
It did, and actually, like, it was before I moved to town here, recorded in Chicago, uh, and it was cool. Like, a lot of the Nashville, like, Instagram channels and stuff with like playlists and stuff, they were liking it. I was like, this is kind of like a bro country song, but it's talking shit about bro country. It's like I can write one
Mhm.
too, and I kind of like made the lyrics like it's kind of tongue in cheek, but yeah, I was surprised people were kind of like into it, but April to July has been so much bigger though. It's just like
Yeah,
it's
those
a
two
force.
songs you need to keep pushing those two songs hard.
Yeah,
Those songs are great, man. Especially April to
appreciate it.
July though, because that song is really good, man. And I'm gonna be honest, like I don't listen to a lot of that. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
if it sucks you in, because your stuff isn't just country, it has so many more. Like I said before, so many other elements in there if you pay attention to it.
Hmm.
And there's some of your songs. I will say this, and you're not. I know you're not gonna get offended by it, but sometimes the way you sing reminds me of Darius Rucker's voice.
Fuck yeah, dude. I've
You know?
someone told me that the other day too. And
Uh-huh.
dude, I love Darius Rucker. Dude,
Yeah.
I love Hootie. Like, that's fucking awesome. I appreciate
Yeah.
that.
It's I can't remember. I can't think of the song right now, but there were several different songs. But just the way it's just the way you flow and it's the way you sound, and there's nothing wrong with that at all.
Well, dude, his voice, like, I know he gets all the flack for like the 90s, like the when you watch like Ted and stuff, they did the
Yeah.
vowel singing A-E-I-O-U thing. But yeah, like his voice is just undeniably
Ah,
like awesome, dude. Like
and
the low
people
voice.
people give him shit because he did the country thing, but he could do it. So why
Yeah.
not do it? And another weird thing about him is it's not weird, but because it happens when you become famous, you get bigger friends, But he's like really good friends with Ric Flair.
Hell yeah.
They hang out with each other. Like he goes to Rick's house and Rick's like, because Rick's all old and shit. He's like, hey, come check out my robes. And he's like showing him all the robes and shit. So like I say Hootie. Darius is always putting them on and shit, like trying them on, like wearing Ric Flair's robes and shit. I'm like, that's pretty cool though. That's a flex right there. I mean,
Dude, you ever watch Daryl's House?
oh dude, fucking phenomenal
Yeah.
show, dude. Yeah.
Bro, one of my favorite episodes was with when they did the Darius Rucker episode and they went to like South Carolina and like they did like crawfish or something broil, and then they would cut back and like do a song, and it was so badass.
I It's because that show was on a few different like times. I remember he did it just like he had it from his own studio and stuff. And then
Yeah.
the episode that I really enjoyed, and is because and I mentioned this name earlier, but the Travie McCoy episode was fucking phenomenal. And then he did that cover of "Don't Let Me Be Misunderstood," and he fucking just destroyed that. I was like, holy shit! But then to hear him sing Hall and Oates song was just as cool. So.
Yeah. Dude, I haven't seen
He-
that episode. I gotta look that up.
Oh,
They're
look
like
that
all on
up.
YouTube now, I
Uh
think.
huh. That's where I would see him at. But another thing, like, uh, I don't think Daryl lives in Nashville. I think John Oates lives in Nashville, and you can
Okay.
catch him. You can catch him around town. He don't have the mustache no more, but he's there. I think the mustache wanted too much money, so he had to get rid of it.
Yeah.
But but yeah, man, those I love watching shows like that. There's another one that's pretty cool like that. I can't think of it right now, but yeah, that Daryl's house is really good, man. Apparently there's a bar. I think he has a bar too in up by his house called Daryl's house, and he
Mm,
does every once in a while he'll do shows there and stuff.
nice.
Well, Brad, I got some questions to ask you. I got some silly questions that I try to do every episode. Just random, not too much thinking. Um, if you were a fast food combo meal, what would be in your combo meal?
Well, I'm a huge Taco Bell connoisseur. I will say that.
Okay, I'm not
Um,
mad at you.
yeah. So definitely getting that Baja Blast to drink. And then I'll do the Crunch Wrap Supreme for sure. And trying to think of what else I get there. Yeah, I get everything. Like the quesadilla is amazing. Like it just depends on the mood, honestly. But yeah, Taco Bell with the Crunch Wrap and a Baja Blast. Like that's amazing.
I follow a bunch of snack sites on the internet, and they tell you about the new shit that's coming out for a lot of restaurants and stuff. And they just dropped the new Taco Bell stuff that's gonna be coming out this year. And
Uh-huh.
Taco Bell's taking it back to like the '90s, and they're re-releasing a bunch of the '90s stuff. And they're bringing in some new stuff. They have a Baja Blast uh, cheesecake that they're putting out.
What?
Um,
Oh
they're
my god.
doing hot Cheeto um, chicken taquitos.
Oh,
They're
okay.
bringing those in.
That sounds good.
Oh man, there were so many. Here it is. All right, so well, this is just a couple more. They're bringing back the Cool Ranch Doritos. They're bringing back the chili cheese burrito, um, and the caramel apple empanada. They're coming back this fall. So
Damn.
that's some of the ones that are coming out this year. I can't find the other one I had, but this motherfucker had stuff until next summer that was dropping. So,
Wow.
yeah, Taco Bell's it's good, but sometimes you pay for it later on. Uh, if
Always.
if you had a mascot, what would the mascot be?
Ooh, that's something I haven't thought about. But
Uh,
so I went to Illinois State University and we were the
okay.
Redbirds, and then my high school, Naperville Central, we were the Red Hawks. So I think it would have to be something like that. What's
Yeah,
the odds you get two Redbirds as your
that's your.
mascots?
That's what I mean. Is
And
is
Red's
that
in
a
my
thing?
last name too. So
All right. So,
so yeah.
um, what's your go-to gas station snack on the road?
Probably some like spicy chips
Psh,
or
bro, you're the
yeah.
first person. Go ahead. What else though?
I was gonna say like if I'm not feeling the spice, I'd get
Yeah,
like the dill pickle chips, but they have spicy dill pickle chips now.
yeah.
So
You get them both. And what about your drink?
uh I get like either Dr. Pepper cherry if they got that. That's like my favorite thing. Dr. Pepper
All
cherry.
right.
Yeah.
I I like the Dr. Pepper cream soda they had. That was pretty fire.
Yeah.
Um, I had to pull myself away from the Dr. Pepper and the Mountain Dews for a while because, for a while, Mountain Dew had like fucking 20 damn flavors a year and shit, and I was trying them all. And then
Oh, of
I was like,
course.
then I was like, you know what? I got to stop drinking sugars. I got to get off all these sugars because this ain't good for me. I ain't working out. So if I ain't working out, that sugar's just settling. But there's so many new flavors out there, and I'm like, I want to try, but yeah, I cannot do.
Wait, what were you gonna
Um,
say about the spicy chips?
oh no, let's say that you're that's what I go for, spicy chips.
Oh
Um,
hell yeah.
any kind of spicy chips, or I like to try uh, limited edition chips too. I love any kind of limited edition chips. I like to try it because you got to see what they're about, and I don't care what brand they are. They can be any brand. They can be the fucking bottom shelf generic brand. And those are some of the best ones.
Dude,
Um,
I had the taco Dorito ones the other
those are
day.
old school. Yeah.
Yeah, they like brought them back or something. I was like, I haven't tried these. I
What do you
was
think
like,
about them?
fire. They're dope. But I was like, I want an actual taco now. So it just made me hungrier.
it it has a Taco Bell vibe to it, actually. Like this
Yeah.
taste.
Yeah.
Um, I fucked. They only come out a certain time of year right now. But the hot mustard chips from Doritos, they kind of
Okay.
remind you. When you go to the Chinese restaurants and they give you that hot mustard, that's
Yeah,
what it's
yeah.
like. So it burns the sinus a little bit, but it has that not. Yeah, I got some of those right now in the kitchen. Um, if you could fill in for one say either vocalist in a band or a guitar player in a band, who would it be?
Bro, so many. But
Like if
I
they were
just
sick.
yeah. Well, dude, like we've already talked about them a million times, but like Kings Leon's like my favorite band. But
Yeah.
like I had a dream that like that happened one time. I don't know if I was filling in for someone or if I was just like on stage with them like performing, but like I had a dream about that one time. But dude, yeah. I mean, they're like I love all their albums and everything. But
Oh yeah, that's a good answer. That's a solid answer. You know what I'm saying?
dude,
Um,
there's just so many. It's hard to pick one,
yeah.
honestly. Anybody,
My
I do it. Yeah.
my my me and my co-host, we just come up. We'll be like, oh, what about this question? I'm like, oh yeah, we just like silly questions asking for people. Um, if if you were a cartoon character, what would you be, or who would you be?
Ooh. Well, I grew up definitely watching like Scooby Doo. Like that was my
Yeah.
number one. So I feel like I give off like Shaggy vibes a little bit.
Scooby-Doo. So
Yeah, just the
like a
chill guy.
Matthew Lillard, because that's what he played. He played him in the movie, Scooby Doo movie. Um, yeah.
Yeah, that was a
That's
good
kinda
movie.
cool, man. I guess yeah, I can see that with you, man. Shag. Shaggy
Just
was always
chilling.
like, and everybody knows Shaggy and Scooby were always stoned because they always had the fucking munchies.
Yeah.
No nobody can make a fucking sandwich like Shaggy and Scooby because that's like they're playing cards. They fucking do it all together, and then it's like they got the sandwich, and then they squish it down, and then they eat it.
Well, dude, like growing up, like my parents were like, "What's your dream job?" Or school would be like, "What's your dream job?" I was like, I would always tell my parents, I'm like, "I want to work at Subway. Like, I want to be a
You wanna be
sandwich
a
artist."
sandwich artist.
Yeah, dude. And it's like I love sandwiches so much, and now I'm thinking maybe it's because I watched Scooby Doo, and that was like,
Yeah.
it was like had an effect on me. But yeah, Subway, that was my dream job growing up.
I was talking to my mom today, actually, or yesterday, and my dream job as a kid, I had two. One, I wanted to be a fireman because my cousin, he was a firefighter back in San Francisco, and I wanted to do that. And I got a little picture of me when I was like 4 years old. I got the fire hat on, and I'm on the fire truck. But then when I got like 5 or 6, I wanted to be a garbage man. I wanted to be a trash guy, right? And
That's
I'm like,
sick.
yes, it is a sick actually. No, I'm kidding. But you think about it now, it's like when I got older, I'm like, you don't really get a big promotion. You go from the back of the truck to driving the truck, and that's really fucking it, right? And but then nowadays, all you do is drive a truck, and you just press a fucking button, the claw comes out, picks up the damn thing, and dumps it.
Yeah.
But I still haven't found my dream job. I was a sandwich artist, not at Subway though. So I did do that one time at a gas station sandwich shop called Blimpie's. And
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah.
you remember that place?
Yeah, I
I
think
made
so. Yeah.
sandwiches. I would make the breads, and I would always hook up the dudes in the factory because they were cool cats. I was a young kid. I was like 18, 19.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I hooked them dudes up because I ended up working at the factory that they were working at. And when I got my tour, they're like, "Oh, it's the sandwich boy." And then when I got on the floor, they were like, "Oh, you need to come over on our line. We want the sandwich boy." So I was like, I was a cool cat hanging out with all the old heads that had been there for a minute. And all my new guys that I came off with, they were like doing all the dirt work, but I got the cool gig. So
You're the
what
sandwich
happens when you
dealer.
Yeah, man. I was like, I got you, man. I'll give you triple meat. And they're like, well,
Yeah.
appreciate it. And they're like, just charge them, give them a foot long with triple meat and only charge them for a fucking 6 inches and shit.
Yeah.
But I think everybody that worked those kind of jobs hooked their friends up or hooked people up with, it wasn't your
Oh,
money.
oh hell yeah. That's a badass fucking job. Like who wouldn't want a free sub, dude?
Fuck no.
Like
I still eat subs. So actually I went to Publix today after work and I was gonna get a sub there and I was like, no, I don't need to fuck because if I eat it, I'm gonna be too tired for this tonight and I'm not gonna do it. So uh what was your last job? What's the worst job you've had and what was your last job you've had?
shit. Oh, before I want to shout out this sandwich place in town
Okay.
here. So it's called Villager Tavern. It's in Hillsboro. It's this little
Okay.
dive bar, but they have these authentic like po' boy sandwiches,
Uh-huh.
Louisiana like recipe and shit, and they have gumbo. Fucking best sandwich like that I've had like in forever. Like, and they serve them till like 2 in the morning. So
Right.
if you're in town, you gotta check that shit out.
What's it called
But
again?
it's called Villager Tavern
Okay.
is the bar. But they have like a dart league there. It's a really cool bar, really cool dive.
All right.
But yeah, that's like where I go after a show. If I play a show late, I'll go there and do that.
So it's Emo Cowboy certified, right?
Yes, yes,
Yeah. Okay.
100%. And I don't want the word to get out too much. So if you're listening, like this is sacred information. Like I don't
Yeah.
want it to get too packed. But yeah.
You don't want to blow your spot, right? So
No, 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 not at all. But so yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about that. But yeah, the worst job, um well my first job ever was I was a soccer referee when I was like
okay.
14. So I had to like take a class and get certified and stuff, and then I got paid in cash. It was actually kind of dope. It's just like
Yeah.
I needed like a ride to like go to to go ref, like. But I would like play a game like soccer game, and then like there would be like the other fields going on, so I would just go ref like after. So that was kind of a dope like summer job.
So
Um,
you got to play soccer and then then you got to go
yeah,
ref some
make money,
snot
yeah,
nosed brats. Yeah.
and then like buy video games and shit. But then like a few summers later, I was like a camp counselor for a summer
Oh,
job. But
dude, you
I
got
was,
like those are all the jobs that like you see in a fucking teen movie. You know what I'm saying? Like a teen summer movie.
dude, that's why this pop punk thing is like crazy because I feel like all these songs, like April to July has got a lot of cuss words, but like the new stuff coming out, I'm like, I could see this stuff in like one of those teen movies growing up. But the personas just coming together in real time. But
Yeah.
yeah, I had the camp counselor job, and it was like all my friends and stuff, but I got stuck with like the middle school kids, and they
Uh,
would like talk shit and like talk back and stuff, and like it was just like it was a lot for me to handle because like they didn't think you were cool because you were older, like they thought they were cool. And it's like, yeah, I remember that time, but it's like the elementary school kids thought you were like the cool kid, you
how
know.
how much older were you than those the middle school kids?
I think it was like the summer before I went to college. So
So
yeah, it
yeah.
was like later. Yeah, yeah, for sure. So
But you would to me you would still kind of be like the cool dude, you know what I'm saying? But who knows?
well, not for every kid, but like
Yeah.
there was just like some of the kids that were like starting to rebel like a lot, and then they,
I guess that
they,
is that age, 'cause that's what I
yeah,
did.
yeah,
Oh,
and then you get to high school and you're like, "Oh shit, I'm not the top of the class anymore. I'm not the 8th
no.
grader." You're like back at the bottom. So
Well, it's like that with high school too, because once some people graduate high school and then they're into the real world, they
oh
were
yeah.
like the biggest prick in high school, and they were
Yeah.
like that dude, and then they get into the real world and they're like, "Fuck, there's other people out here worse than me. Damn it."
Peaked in high school, I think they call it.
What do they I always say like the ex football player or whatever is that and either becomes like the town cop or
Yeah,
somebody like that because that's all he did get to make it in football and shit.
of course.
But
But yeah, I was always friends with a bunch of different groups, but I was never like the coolest kid for sure. Like
nah, man, no, you don't need to be, man, because guess what? you're doing what they're not doing. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, I feel somewhat cool now, but yeah. I'm glad
so
other people think Emo Cowboy's cool. I didn't
have
know how
you
I
been
felt about it.
it's hey bro, it's the best thing. Shout out to Nashville for giving Brad the moniker Emo Cowboy or Red Jacket Guy. I think Emo Cowboy's a lot cooler, or the
Appreciate it.
Red Jacket Emo Cowboy. I don't fucking. That's a lot too much there. Anyway, but have you had a high school reunion yet?
I think it was like I don't even know when it was, but I didn't go.
No, I didn't go
I
either.
like
Actually, I it's who cares, you know?
yeah. Well, I had my friends from high school, and we had like, you know, 700 graduating class.
Wow. Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like, dude, if like the people I want to hang out with, like I'm already doing that, and then people
That's
I'm not
sweet.
hanging out with, like whatever,
See,
like
and I'm not one to brag either, so it's just like I can give a shit about it. And you like you just said, the people that I fuck with in high school, I still fuck with outside of high school. I don't need to go and hang out with you at some fucking reunion. We can just hang out whenever we want. And like
yeah.
I'm not one. I don't. Yeah, no. And I've had
And
enough. And I've never been to any of them. And yeah, it is what it is.
well, in social media, like if you want to see what somebody's up to, like you can figure that out if you want to. Like, like I
Yeah.
don't really care to like creep on like people like that. It's like kind of weird, but like there's people that, that's what they want to do. And it's like you can find that out easier now than back then.
How about this though? Do you creep on your high school crush?
No, I don't. Yeah, no, I
No,
don't.
I don't know where mine went, and I moved around a lot as a kid because my stepfather was in the military, so
Yeah.
I went to a lot of fucking schools in my life. And
Ah, gotcha.
I went to four different high schools in 4 different high schools in my high school career, and so I never got being a military kid and moving around. You got to grab what friends you can because you don't know when they're going to leave. They might move tomorrow or whatnot. So I really didn't have
Mm,
a lot of friends. But my senior year and here it was here in Clarksville. The girl, man, I didn't know this. I knew the girl in school, but I didn't really pay due mind to her because she was like the smart kid. Like she was like the honor student and like graduated with all this stuff. But me and my homies blew off the prom. But then we went to the after prom and got a bunch of money together and like we're like, hey, we need a hotel, and like got money from a bunch of the other kids and got our hotel room, and we used their money to make our own party. But the girl that was the high school Victorian, we we were talking. I was like, oh my god, this chick, she knows me. Like she knew who I was. And
yeah,
she moved off to like Australia and became like a fucking uh uh, uh stunt coordinator chick for like movies and shit. And I'm like, wow, who would have known, And now she's like, I don't know where she's at. Haven't found her in the internet. Yes, I have
yeah.
tried to stalk her, but whatever.
Yeah, I think, like, if I went to a smaller school, I would definitely, like, wanna know like, if I was from a small town, like, I would wanna kinda know, like, what everyone's doing, but, like, being from a big
Yeah,
school, it's like, it's just too much to keep up to, and I'm, like, the person, like, I'm on to the next thing, like, I'm, like,
for sure.
I moved to Nashville from Chicago, like, I didn't know anybody here and, like, made friends and, that's just kind of
It it's
what I
kinda
do.
like it's kinda
It's
like
life.
it yeah, and it's like you moving from one city to another. It's just like moving from one high school to a new high school. You're making new friends where you go. I went from, being in a military schools, not they're not military schools, but they're on the military bases. We had small groups, maybe 100, 150, 200 at the most. And here locally, the school I graduated from was just a little bit under 200, and I graduated at like the second to the last of the people because I gave no fucks. Like my GPA was trash. But guess what? I graduated just like the worst doctor in the world
Oh, yeah.
graduated, and he's still a doctor.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
like you got some dude pulling your teeth out. He might have been the bottom of the class, but he's still a dentist. So, it is
For
what it
sure.
is. Well, Brad, I mean, we've been talking for a minute, and I've enjoyed this conversation, man. You're a great dude. You're really cool and chill. I think everybody should check out your music if they have not already. Um, Go ahead and tell everybody where they can find you on the interweb.
Yeah, just go bradredlich.com or at Brad Redlich on all social media platforms. And yeah, if you like my stuff, tag me like in your story or DM me or, something like as an independent artist, like if you like something, you want to hear more of it, you got to give support to those people. So that goes for anybody. Like you're the reason that these artists blow up, like Zach Bryan and all these people. So
Yeah.
if you like what you're hearing, definitely share it. And yeah, that's what's
S-
up.
Slide into the DMs, ladies. uh, and one more thing before I leave, I ask everybody this: is a hot dog a sandwich?
Oh my god, I don't even know. Uh, nah, nah. I'm just
That's
gonna
the
go
correct
no.
answer. That's the correct answer.
No reason. No, I have no reason. It's just a feeling.
I'll tell
It's
you
not.
what I'll tell you my theory at the end when we get done here. But
All right.
everybody, it's been real. Brad, take it easy, man, and we'll talk again soon, brother.
All right. Appreciate you. Emo Cowboy out.